Alright, what up? Welcome back. This is going to be a little quick video, taking a little break in the repair action because I just got a package. I actually have two packages, but we're only going to review the one because it's actually something I bought, and it's something I've not bought in a while. Not a camera, promise you that. It is some film. I've not really been buying a whole lot of film because I've not been really shooting a whole lot, and the prices have really just gone up, and I do have a pretty good stockpile, so it's not like I need more film, but you know, I was just bored the other day on the internet, and I was looking at it, it was looking at me. I had to have it, so I bought this lot of expired film, which is something that I used to do all of the time, but now, as I was just talking to a buddy of mine the other day, it's like expired film prices have shot up lately for reasons. I think it's because as film prices went up, people were like, oh, it's great, you can just buy expired film, it's cheaper, and sometimes it works out, whatever. So people then were buying more expired film, and because kind of the whole idea of expired film is it's older stock, they're not making any more of it, so there's a very limited supply of it to begin with. Thus, what is it? Supply, demand, whatever. It's doing the opposite of what you want it to do. So the prices went up. This cost me a pretty penny, but there's some good stuff in here, so let's go over it briefly. We have, first off, some Triax 120. This is all 120 film, I believe. There might be a roll of 220 in here, but I doubt it. We have some super old, 1990 actually, Fuji color, Super HR 400, which I think is something. I'm not sure what HR stands for, but yeah, it is old as hell. Color negative, should be interesting. Next up, we have two rolls of Portra 400 UC, which is different than VC. I believe this is ultra color, the other one is vivid color, and this is sample film, so I'm not entirely sure what that means. I would assume that the idea for this would be like to give to a shop to use and then not really sell. It's not as old, expired in 2004. It's 400 speed film, so it should be okay, potentially, we'll see. I really do enjoy Portra 160 VC. I've talked about that, I think, a little bit, if not. I will talk about it at some point after I bought all of it, and then I'll talk. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. Another thing of Triax, no idea when this expired because it's out of the box, but Triax is pretty bulletproof. Most black and white film is. I don't think we've talked about that as much as I'd like to, but black and white film is pretty resilient to aging, depending on the conditions it's kept in. And then the same thing with like this lower speed film, so 160 will last a lot longer than 400 just because the susceptibility to light and different things, it's a little bit less affected by it. So this expired in 1999, so that's pretty fun. This is Varicolor 3, which I think I have a couple boxes of Varicolor 2, so I would be kind of interested to see if there's any like notable differences between the 2 and the 3. We got a couple rolls here of Pro 400. This expired in 95, and this expired, well, both expired March of 1995. I know nothing about this film. I like the gold casing of it though, so I got two rolls of it, so hopefully it's something interesting and fun. And then we have the two real money makers here. I'm actually really kind of stoked about this. Got Agfa Chrome. 2 boxes of Agfa Chrome, and this expired in 95 as well. It's 1000 ISO. And yeah, this thing's probably pretty fried, to be honest. Agfa's not made film in like a minute. I think if they're making any film now, I'm pretty sure it's just black and white, but even then I doubt it, really. And so this is, let's see, my sister was actually born in 95, so let me see, she is 27 years old. That's how old this film is. Yeah, this is old film, really high ISO. I've shot, I had here's some other 1000 ISO medium format film that I have. As you can see, it's pretty scuffed. I believe I made a video about this too when I got it. So I shot some of that not too long ago through the 6.7. I think I rated it for 800 and I got like 2 images back on that. And then I had shot another roll of, I think it was 1000, and I think I rated that at 800 too, and I actually got some decent images on that. So what I'll probably do is I'll shoot these at like, I don't know, 640 maybe, and see what detail I can pull from it. I'm very excited though, because like I don't think I've shot Agfa color film before, and I guess when I bought this I didn't realize it was 1000 speed film, because I didn't even think Agfa made 1000 speed film. Also, if I'm reading this correctly, this potentially is let me see. Fuck. Yeah, I kind of skipped over that part too. Oh no. Oh, that's hilarious. It's E6. This is slide film. Holy shit. I didn't think that they made slide film at 1000 speed. That is funny. Oh, this is going to be real fucked. This is going to be so fucked. Okay, let me explain this to you. If you don't know, which if you've subscribed to my channel, you've probably heard this spiel 1000 times from not only me, but everybody else. But there's like 3 different types of film. Well, technically 4, really. Like we'll just talk about 4 different types of film here. There's instant film, there's slide film, there's C41, color negative, and then there's black and white. In that order, that's how well they age, from worst to best. Instant film ages like milk. It is terrible after a certain period of time. If it's not stored in like perfect conditions, it's wasted, useless. And that's just because all of the different silver halide crystals in there are super susceptible to aging and stuff like that, so it doesn't really work very well. Next up we have slide film, which is what this is. And it does not age well because there are so many layers of emulsion on there, because what it's trying to do is trying to render accuracy in colors like in real time, as opposed to color negative film, which gives you the opposite sides of, like, opposites of those colors, which means basically there's a lot more science, a lot more layering that's involved in trying to render this as accurate versus something like this, where it doesn't really need to do that immediately, if that makes sense. There's about, I think, 4 layers of emulsion here, and I believe there's 6 on here. So those added 2 layers, whatever. And then, as I mentioned previously, the differences between this and this is a lower ISO, or ASA, however you want to say it. It means the same thing, roughly. But the lower that number is, the more light it needs to basically show that there's an image. So the higher the number is, the more sensitive it is to light and to things affecting it. So this being as high as it is means that it's going to be very fried. So I might shoot this at like 400 now that I'm thinking about it. That's funny. And then going back to the point, black and white film, bulletproof, because it basically is just like the 2 layers, and it's really hard to goof that up. What'll happen more than anything is like you'll get a lot of grain. I've shot stuff that's like 50 years old, and it's just like super gritty and grainy and stuff, and that's a pretty cool look, I think. But you know, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want like a sharp, crisp image, just shoot normal black and white, because it's very affordable. But I kind of like a little bit less control over it, so that's why I enjoy shooting expired film. This is going to be a right romp and a riot though. I'm so excited. And the rest of this should be pretty interesting too. I'm excited to see how this turns out too, because I've never really heard of this or shot it, but it looks like it's the medium format version of like the Royal Gold, which is a great line of film that I enjoyed shooting quite a bit. And then honestly, yeah, I'm excited to see how this ultra color turns out in comparison to vivid color. And if I'm correct in assuming, I believe this is like the predecessor to 400H. So I'm curious to see how that is. And also I love this vintage Fuji logo so much. So cool. Anyway, I think that about rounds up today's little unboxing video. I'm gonna get back to this repair here in a minute, but I just wanted to break up the monotony of me yambling on about camera stuff and yamble on about some film stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you're excited to see me shoot. If any of these particular things interest you, I will probably be making videos about all of them. But if there's any that like jump out at you as like, oh, I need to hear how that went, let me know. I would love to throw something together and make a little bit more of a trip out of it as opposed to just walking around the block. So thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it as always. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and catch you on the next one.